everybody. Ella J here on behalf of Bell to Bells. And today I am joined by second generation superstar and Battle Arts Academy Women's Champion, Bianca Carelli. So how are you doing today, Bianca?
I am doing fantabulous, if you will, Ella. How are you today?
I'm fantabulous as well. I mean, we were just talking off air, like, oh, you got a little something, something coming up in about 2 weeks at the time of recording this, and I will finally get to see you in person. But like, your summer has been absolutely insane. You officially finished your biology degree now, right?
Yep, it is done. It is done, done, done.
Do you feel some sense of relief, or what are your thoughts now that you've finally reached that finish line with your bachelor's, at least, right?
Well, I think it was relieving for like a good, I'd say day. And then
Okay.
I was like, yeah, I was like, okay, school's done. I was like, but now I have no excuse to not focus on real life. So it's like as soon as school was done, it's like, okay, now I gotta get on the grindstone. I knew Empower was coming up. My wrestling class just opened back up. So now I
That's
have like
good.
wrestling classes. Then the gyms opened up. So then I was able to train in the gym. So it's like as soon as school ended, the whole world opened up. So it was really good timing, but it didn't really allow for much relief. Mind you, I'm so happy to finally have it done. And I just want it to come in the mail now. I'm just waiting for that degree in the mail because I'm not going to go to commencement. I don't need to do
Damn. I
that.
mean, mine was like this awkward thing. So I graduated with my bachelor's in like December of 2018. So it was like that winter. And then I got my degree in the mail in February. And then I walked in May. Is something you don't want to walk?
No, I didn't even go to my high school like I went to
Really?
graduation, but I didn't go to commencement. No.
Interesting. Okay.
I
Fair
just
enough.
I don't know. It's like it's weird. You just walk across the stage, you grab something, you wave it, and you walk across. And I'm gonna be in the States hopefully at that time. So I'm not going back to Canada just to walk
Okay.
across the stage. Like just
Okay.
mail it to me. It's fine.
Fair enough. At least you need the degree though, physically, because I have mine and like I didn't feel like I was officially graduated until 2 months after I got my degree in the mail. I was like, now it like finally means something, you know?
You got to put it in that frame. You got to put it on the wall, and then it's like, okay, I did
Yeah.
it.
No,
Now it can sit here.
absolutely. You can just hang it up there. Like, I did that. You did that, Bianca, you know? But, you know, you also pride yourself on actively learning and bettering yourself in all aspects of life. But in regards to your studies, what is one thing you learned that really stuck with you, whether it was major related or not? Because again, the psychology stuff, I got you. The biology stuff, I know nada. So I'm just really curious, like, what is one thing you learned that really stuck with you?
So I had to actually take some essay courses in the summer because I really put off my essay requirements. I did all the science. So I took two essay courses I found very interesting. I took an intro to business, which I
Mhm.
thought was very useful in terms of like projecting financial statements or designing marketing plans, things like that, which can be very applicable to wrestling, you know, marketing yourself, figuring out, you know, your budgeting, things like that. So I feel like that was very you know, useful for the wrestling path that I'm going to be following. But I also took another course called the Anthropology of Tourism. And it talks about the effect that we have on certain countries, whether positive or negative, when we
Hmm.
visit them as tourists. Again, something that kind of is applicable to wrestling because, you know, hopefully when the world opens back up and there's shows all over the world, you know, it makes you wonder when you visit certain communities, how do we impact them as tourists and as performers? So honestly, I'm not a huge arts and humanities person, but I must say I did enjoy those courses.
I took two Antler courses, I believe, in I was a lot into the social sciences. So my degree was obviously like psych. I took sociology, like anthropology, and like creative writing was my minor. So I took a lot of like the humanities and stuff. So I found those interesting though, too. It's especially too, like you said, tourism. We're literally going to be traveling everywhere now. So what it, again, like, I'm just curious then in that regards. Cause so like, for example, I'm going to St. Louis. I've never been there, like not necessarily about St. Louis, but what is one thing you learned from that course about tourism and in anthropology intertwining? That's really interesting.
One really cool takeaway was I suppose when you go to another country that might be third world, it really said don't go there with the perspective that, oh, they're third world, oh, people in this country need our help. You
Mhm.
know, it said kind of like sometimes westernized societies, we tend to think we're so lucky, we're so much better off. And like that's a really ignorant way to approach a whole other country, a whole other way of life. Like their way of life is special to them and our way of life may be special to us, but neither way is better than another. And it's about understanding different cultures and trying to really learn. So talked a lot about a lot of volunteer tourism where people go and they, you know, they want to build a school and they want to help the community or they want to teach their language to the people.
Mhm.
But why don't you actually learn their language and learn their customs and immerse yourself and see if they can help you with something? It doesn't have to always be you're helping them. Maybe they can help you. So it's like finding that equality between a two-way exchange between cultures. It's a good way to look at things. You can always learn and you can always teach. It's like that flow of life, you know?
You know, you really enlighten me every time I speak with you. And this is only the second time, but like honestly, I've said before, and I'm going to say it on Bell to Bells. Now you really need to be like a motivational or a public speaker, Bianca, because
Oh my
you
gosh.
have, I feel like you are so obviously educated, but then you have the speaking and like the role model skills from like beauty pageants, and then you have the performance and all that experiences from wrestling. So I feel like you could bring so much together, like, and make a real impact. So
Thank you so much. When you said that to me, I was
like
very complimented. I haven't let that
I'm
go.
so
Just so you
serious
know.
though too. Like
Oh,
even like
thank you so
every
much.
time it just like blows me away. But I guess the big question now is where do you go from here? Do you further pursue education? Do you continue forth in your pageants, or do you maybe finally make that move to the States like you were thinking about the last time I spoke with you?
Well, Ella, I'm making the move. I am making the move. So actually, I have my pageant not this weekend, but next weekend. After that, I have about 3 days to finish packing up my stuff. I'm gonna pack it all into my little car. It's a very small car, and drive into the States. Go down first to St. Louis. And now I know it's St. Louis and not St. Louis because I've been a little bit
Oh my
confused
gosh. Oh,
about
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Louis or Louis. Now I know it's Louis.
Yeah.
So then I'll be there for a few days, and after that, I'm going to drive to Orlando. I found a place to rent, and my plan is to train with Devon Dudley, and
Nice.
yeah, start dipping my feet into the American wrestling scene waters.
That's interesting. Now, how did that come about? Was it the relationship with your dad and Devon, or how did you decide upon Devon Dudley? Because I've heard great things about his school too. But
I actually asked a good friend of mine who used to train at Battle Arts Academy because I know I want to be in Florida. My little sister actually, she lives in Naples for tennis.
mhm,
She just went there this year, so I've always kind of wanted to be close to my little sister. I know I'll be a few hours away, but still, you know, she's only
mhm.
14. She's at a boarding school, so it's nice to be close. And yeah, so I asked a friend of mine and said, "Do you know any good wrestling schools in Florida?" And I had heard of a few, but he definitely recommended Devon. He said it's a great school. Lots of people are very happy with the program. So I looked it up online. I called Devon, told him I'm coming down in September. So that is currently the plan. And I'm excited. I'm excited to meet new people, meet new wrestlers, and, you know, just learn as much as I can and really just, like I said, get my feet wet.
Yeah, and I know we were talking about that. There's a lot of opportunities in Florida. Obviously, like AEW is based in there, NXT is based in there. There's a whole pool of talent and shows and brands that are going on there. So I think that is really a perfect fit for you. I'm curious though, how do you think you'll adjust to the weather difference there, Bianca? Because it's significantly hotter. I know I
I
could
am
not
so
do it.
excited.
Oh,
Really?
really?
Yeah. Well, I love hot weather. And my Nana always tells me she thinks I'm crazy because well, we're Celsius here, so I don't really know Fahrenheit, but when it's
True.
like 36 degrees Celsius here, like that's my dream weather. And it's like it's the point to like where you go outside, it's so hot, like you feel like your lungs are cooking. Like I like that. I don't know. I'm a cold-blooded, warm-blooded. I don't know. I
I don't
like
know.
hot weather. Um, even in my room, like downstairs, I have a heater. Even in the summer, sometimes I put it on and I sleep with a duvet. Um, I like hot weather. I like sweating. It's kind of weird.
I mean, well, maybe because you're used to working out and like training and all of that, maybe. But I mean, well, from what I looked like, St. Louis is gonna be hot that day. I mean, I'm not looking forward to it, but I will get over it. It'll be good though. I feel like you're adjust like your serotonin levels and all of that. If you're in a place where you're comfortable, then like go for it, you know? But
yeah, I'm all about that sunshine and that warm weather. I don't like the cold. Honestly, that's the one thing I won't miss about Canada is the winter.
but it makes you tougher though. Like I'm right from Buffalo, so I'm right there with you. I feel like it makes you tougher though. But then again, like it got at least at least in Florida though, if there's ever snow, you'll be prepared for it. It won't be as dramatic, obviously, as like the Northeast or anything.
This is true.
But I mean, there's that. But like we talk about St. Louis coming up in 2 weeks, basically from today at the time of recording this. You were recently announced as an official entrant in this year's first ever, actually, NWA Women's Invitational at the Empowerrr pay-per-view coming up on August 28th. Now, I'm curious, will this actually be your first outing from Canada to the States since the pandemic?
Yes. It will be.
Ooh.
And it's my first pay-per-view ever as well.
It's my first pay-per-view going ever as well too.
So, both of our first.
Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting. Now, I guess before we get into the nitty-gritty of it, what are some things that you were planning to do, obviously outside of wrestling, as you now go back into the States for the first time in like literally a year and a half?
Well, I know you guys have like cool things in the grocery stores.
We
so
do.
So I mean, I'm pretty excited to go into like a grocery store, even a Walmart. I just want to see what you guys have on your shelves. Like, I wonder what flavors of things that I like there are available there that they don't have here. Like I don't even know what to expect. Like I haven't been to the States in what feels like for like so long that yeah, that's kind of the excitement of going, is exploring the malls or even the convenience stores. Like, what snacks do you guys have? I want to see the snacks.
Yeah, I learned too, because I have a friend who's from Toronto. Like, even just between America and Canada, like our Smarties are called Rockets in Canada. Like, yeah, I believe I'm correct. Like, we have a thing called a Smarties is a different. No, I know, but your Smarties is not our Smarties. Like our Smarties are Rockets in Canada.
Oh, that's weird. I don't like the powdery things.
Yes.
Those are Smarties?
Yeah. Your Rockets are our Smarties. Your Smarties are a completely different thing.
Our Smarties are like kind of like M&Ms, but like a different chocolate.
Yeah, but our Smarties are your Rockets. For anybody who doesn't
very strange.
See, when I learned that, I was like, what? So again, like it'll be getting used to things. Like if I were going to Canada, I'd be like, I don't know, but I would want to explore, much like how you are wanting to. I heard there's good beer in St. Louis too, although I'm not much of a beer person, but I was talking to Tootie Lynn, who's also in the Invitational and a St. Louis native. She said they have a good beer. So, I mean, if you're a fan of that,
they were known for that.
I don't know. If you're a fan of that, there's that too. I'm definitely looking forward to exploring too, obviously outside of not participating in wrestling, but watching the wrestling, you know,
enjoying, have a nice St. Louis beer and
right.
No Smarty Rockets.
No. I need to bring you, when I see you, I'm literally going to bring you some actual American Smarties. Like I'm so sorry.
I'm just going to be like, what is this? I cannot compute. This is not a Smartie.
I'll bring a Sharpie. You can write Rockets over it.
That would just make everything better.
Okay. Now, when you got the confirmation that you were not only on the card for Empowerrr, but entered into this invitational, what were your initial thoughts?
Well, can I go into our backstory?
If you want to, sure, absolutely.
Okay. So when you messaged me to set up this podcast interview, I was very surprised because you said you're doing the Invitational Cup. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not. I was like, I think I'm in a tag. You said, no, you're in the Invitational Cup. And I was like, hang on a second here. I'm in the Invitational Cup? Wait, what? And then I read one of the emails I had from Mickey that I guess I must have read it wrong. And yeah, well, I did read it wrong, because then when I read it again, I was like, oh, yeah, missed that key piece of information. So then we were talking, and then within an hour of me being like, I don't know, I guess I'm in Invitational, it was confirmed, the graphic was dropped, and yeah, that's when I was like, oh my gosh, because I had known since last month, I'm going to be in Empowerrr.
Mhm.
I didn't know until maybe 3-4 days ago that it was actually the Invitational Cup.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm definitely excited. I was definitely surprised, but I'm more than anything just like super, super pumped.
Yeah, like, and not only that, but it's worth noting that you were main eventing Empowerrr as a part of this women's invitation. I know we were talking about that before it was released on Twitter, and you're like, you're nervous, but like that's a good thing though, going into this. Like, it shows that you care. But so in a headliner like this, do you kind of feel any added pressure to maybe perform or to perform greater or deliver?
Well, at the end of the day, like, I train hard. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my thing. I was a little nervous just because it's been COVID in Canada. Like, I don't really know too much about what it's been like in the States, but I just like, you get ring rust after a while. And I didn't start wrestling really in the ring again until last month, and I'd been off since September. So I had a really big gap there. I stay in shape and everything, but you know, then I start to wonder, like, okay, do I got all my moves in order? Do I know what my best moves are? So I'm kind of like, okay, let's go, let's do this thing. I'm gonna give it my all. It's an amazing opportunity. I'm so happy to be a part of it. I just definitely want to perform my best. And just the fact I've been out of it for quite a bit, is a little bit it can be nerve-wracking, but of course it's because I want to do well. I want to show everybody, how far I've come, how much work I've put in, and I want to give my best performance. And yeah, like you said, that's where the nerves come from. So I'm totally excited. I'm also a little nervous, but we got
You are
it.
main eventing your first pay-per-view too. What a way to start that off.
Honestly, that's a pretty good start.
Pretty damn good start. Like,
Oh.
you've said before too in past interviews that you were obviously a very competitive person. So also competing in this invitational are 9 other women, including Chelsea Green, Masha Slamovich, Genocide, Tootie Lynn, and so many more. So is there any participant, when you're looking over this card so far, is there any participant in this match you maybe see as your biggest competition or threat to win it all?
I have to say, like you said, all those women are extremely talented. One in particular, I will say Masha. I've been following her on Instagram for a long time. I know she was in Japan. I know she's a tough cookie. She was at another women's show that I did, what was it, 2 years ago now? It's called Revolution. And she was very aggressive.
She's the Russian Dynamite.
She's the Russian Dynamite. So, I definitely, she's young too. I think she's like 23. So she's young. She's a ton of experience, and she's the Russian Dynamite. So I mean, I got my eye on her. I think she might be a challenge. With the way the cup is set up, I don't know when I'm going to enter into the ring, who I'm going to be in the ring with. So it's kind of hard to kind of have to, prepare for everybody. And I've been studying all the women, and they're all pretty tough. So I'm gonna have to bring my A game regardless.
I will be speaking with Masha in a couple days here on Bell to Bell, so I might have to relay that to her and get her response back.
Okay,
But
you let her know.
Okay,
I'm watching her.
I will. But like you said, the match was revealed to be a gauntlet style match. I think a unique gauntlet style match. So how do you even, like you said, you don't even know when you'll be entering in this. So how do you even mentally or physically prepare for such a demanding match stipulation like that?
Yeah, and I have been thinking about that too, because let's say I'm one of the first two, you're going to start in ring. Obviously, it's going to be more of like a grappling initiation of the match. If I'm running out in the middle of the ring, you don't know what you're running into. You don't know what the two competitors, like, who's going to have the advantage in what situation, where's the fight going to be at that point. You just gotta be like, hey guys, I'm gonna start fighting you both too now. Like, how do you just gotta jump in there and to find the opportunities where they present themselves. So there's a million possibilities with this kind of match with all these different kinds of like competitors. So you have to really be open-minded towards any possibility and be prepared for absolutely anything, which is even more exciting, but even more of a challenge, because you can't exactly pinpoint what you precisely need to do and what you need to work on. So you have to just go in there with the mindset of whatever's thrown at me, stay grounded, stay present, and do my best.
I'm curious too, as you're still a personal trainer, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So something like that, if you're ever preparing for a situation like this or a marathon or something where it's like you have to be pretty resilient, it's like a long lasting thing, and pacing yourself, how do you prepare yourself, like exercise wise, like in the gym or something like that?
So I kind of tend to run myself a little intensely.
Okay.
I know I shouldn't. So when I know the date's coming up, I ramp up my training. So like right now I'm doing, I wake up, I do a fasted workout for about an hour and a half. And then I do cardio. Still, I'm fasted, but for like half an hour to an hour. And then sometimes I do like HIIT cardio. So like sprint, stop, sprint, stop, sprint, stop, or I'll do like steady state. I recently thought about combining the two of them, which was kind of cool. So the other day I did Stairmaster for, I think, about 20 minutes. And when I hit the 20-minute mark, I started doing sprints. So I'd put the Stairmaster up to the max level and I'd sprint up the stairs for 45 seconds. And then I would put it back down. And then I'd wait, about a minute, and then I'd bump it up again and start sprinting up the stairs. So I'm doing everything I can. Plus, like the wrestling training is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I have a show actually tomorrow. So my body's not really getting enough rest. And I'm fully aware of this. The way I'm planning it out, though, is when I drive up to St. Louis, it's going to be a whole day of driving. The next day, I'm assuming, I don't know how fast I'll be able to find a gym or if I'm going to really have time to train. So I might just do some body stuff, some like mobility, body weight stuff, just to get limber for the show the next day. So I'm kind of mentally telling myself that those 2 days before the show will be the rest that I need. So, I mean, I obviously would give someone different advice. I would tell them, I would say, make sure you take your rest. Yeah. Maybe slow down the cardio like a week before. You don't want to run yourself to the ground. Keep your nutrients in your body. Maybe do more stretching. I don't do enough stretching. So, there's a difference between doing what you're supposed to and knowing what you're supposed to do.
That's like me giving advice and then not actually taking my own advice. So
yeah,
I get
it's the exact same thing.
I feel like though under certain circumstances, your body though, and what you need and what is actually what's the word? Realistically you're capable of, especially leading up to that. We all know ourselves. So I don't blame you there. Like I said, I give advice, stuff whatever, and I don't follow it at all. So, right. I mean, it is what it is. But we're talking about, obviously, this is like a gauntlet style match. I'm curious too, as you kind of expand to the States and embark on this new journey and new environments, is there any match stipulation that you'd like to tackle that you have not yet?
I mean, when I think about the matches that I've had, I don't think I've actually had any matches with any stipulations. So I'm open.
You're going to have to get the tables soon. I'm kidding.
Honestly, I cannot wait. You have no idea. I know that. No, that doesn't sound weird. I think that's normal. But I can't wait. I mean, yeah, having a match with nice accessories, chairs, lounges, and tables. That would be awesome. And I feel like going to Devon's, that's probably the perfect place to kind of practice, prepare for those kinds of matches. I'm not exactly sure if they
He's an
include
expert,
that.
so I think you're safe in saying that it's gonna be a cool place, definitely full of those accessories. Maybe then again, what do I know? But he has a little experience in it,
Yeah, a little.
Now, the winner of the Women's Invitational will also go on to face the NWA Women's Champion, whether it be Camille or Layla Hirsch, at NWA's 73rd anniversary show the following night. So, what would it mean for you on basically your first journey into the States since before the pandemic? What would it mean for you to become the new NWA Women's Champion on a grand stage like that?
Well, unbelievable. I feel like would be the perfect word to describe it. I mean, you know, there's been so much going on in the past year, and with like school finishing and now this new journey, to walk into my new journey and to show up at Empower, get that opportunity to be at NWA 73 and to have, if that would be incredible. And it would be the best way for me to test like how far I've come, everything I've learned, um, all the knowledge that I've accumulated. If I could put that all together and walk in there, the champion, I just got goosebumps. I don't know if you can see them. You probably can't. But I think unbelievable, like breathtaking, like extraordinary. Like these are the words that come to mind because they're the only words that would describe such an experience. So I guess we'll see what's gonna happen. You never
I'll
know.
be rooting for you, but don't tell anybody
Okay.
else, okay?
I won't. Thank you.
Okay. Now, you talk about the like going into this new environment in St. Louis and the States. So, in the event that Empower is the first time that people are maybe seeing you perform and having their eyes on you, what do you hope that they take away from your character or your in-ring work, or what can they expect from you, this newly improved Bianca, as we could say?
So definitely, I think this will be the first time a lot of people have seen me wrestle, and you know, I'm not sure what people will take because, you know, I want to wrestle fairly. I want to, you know, use my knowledge and wrestle fair. But, you know, it's just sometimes you just like you see someone's hair and it's just right there and you can just grab it just for a second. So I'm gonna try to fight nicely and honestly, but like these girls look tough, and if I see an opportunity, I'm gonna take it. And it's not because I want to hurt anybody, but it's because, you know, I'm very competitive.
You got to be a little sly sometimes, Bianca, especially in a crazy environment where there's so many moving parts happening at once, like you, because you will literally have multiple people in the match at once. Like,
Yeah,
so who
you have to
knows?
got to take the opportunities where they come, regardless of what they are. That doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person
Smart,
who smart. Yes, it makes you smart.
which
So I'm
you
gonna,
are.
well, thank you. I read books and stuff sometimes. So I'm gonna, you know, just feel it out.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see. We'll see. Leave the people a little, on the edge of their seats.
We'll
It'll
see.
definitely be fun to tune into. Obviously, this women's invitational is main eventing Empower, but if you could maybe theoretically book your own all women's show, who would your main event be, whether it's past or current talent in professional
Ooh.
wrestling?
Oh my gosh. Questions like this are always so hard because my brain starts going like, I'm like picturing
I
everybody I
mean,
could
you
ever
could
think
put
of.
yourself in the main event. You're the booker. I
Yeah,
mean, you
fair,
could.
fair enough. Okay, I like that. Oh man, I'm just like thinking like China, Asuka, Serena, like then I'm like, okay, there's me. I'm like, okay, well, there's so
I
many
didn't say that
people.
it couldn't be like a triple threat match or like a fatal four-way or something. I didn't say that. You can make it any match you want. Could be a rumble
Honestly,
even. I don't know.
I feel like I want to see China versus Asuka. Like that would
That
be cool.
that
Like, well,
two
if you
different
could go
styles.
in
Yeah.
the past and in
Yeah.
the future and combine it, that would be, to me, that would be really cool. Yeah.
What about that match like really draws you? Like what about those two competitors?
Well, because China, she was like huge and strong and powerful and like just like tough and mean, but still like beautiful,
Mhm.
like an Amazon, I would say, kind of like just and she's pretty big, and I feel like she's very like her wrestling style is not like Asuka's. So you have such a contrast
Mhm.
between China style and then Asuka, who's obviously smaller than China, bright colors, right? Awesome fighting style, vicious. It's just like the way that their viciousnesses, if that is even a
Yes.
word,
We'll make it a word.
viciousnesses. Yeah, well, okay. The way that they're vicious is so different, but I think that they would combine into something like really awesome, really cool to watch. Yeah, viciousness is word of the day.
Hashtag viciousness. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
tweet that
I don't
after and
know.
at you after this. So you're gonna people are
Vicious
gonna know.
viciousness
Viciousness
is like
is
multiple viciousnesses. Okay,
viciousnesses.
it
Whatever. We'll figure it out.
it could be a word. Not sure.
I mean,
Might
it
be.
could be, who knows, but I get your gist. No, like two very different and polarizing figures in wrestling, so talented and complete opposites. Sometimes those are the ones that mesh well together. So I would love
Yeah,
to see that too. Unfortunately, you can't. But in a perfect world, in our mind, in my
in
mind,
our
I know it would
minds.
be amazing, you know? So I got two more questions for you. Now, there's been a lot of conversation today surrounding, I think, this rise in all women shows and brands, especially over the last few years. So, as a female wrestler yourself, what are your thoughts on this emergence of these all women shows and promotions?
I absolutely love it. I know, like, women's wrestling, it's really more so been taken seriously. We all know what it was like in the past. And, so many women, had those matches that maybe they didn't want to necessarily have, but they did, and they fought and they paved the way. And so many women's wrestlers have fought for us to be where we are now, that we have these opportunities. And I think it's beautiful. And I think the title Empower for this show is the perfect title because it's truly empowering to say, hey, we are women, we are wrestlers, we have our own entire show, watch us, watch what we can do. And it's just like with anything in life, there's so many different things, especially for women, where we've had to fight for our rights, like fight for the right to vote in Canada. Neely McClung, I think it was. Anyways, we're fighting we were fighting for the right to wrestle and have good spots on shows and main event, and we're getting these opportunities. So it just goes to show, like, we got this, like, we can do it. And I think it's amazing. And I love that there's an increase in women's shows because they're awesome, they're entertaining. So I love it. I think it just really goes to show that people can make a difference and that things can come such a far way. And anything that seems like, it's so far off or so impossible, eventually it won't be, and eventually you're going to get there. And I think that we, like, now the wrestlers nowadays as females, we kind of embody the visions of the past, and I like that it's come to that.
I think, like you said, like it's an exciting time to be alive, and you're taking visions from the past and bringing it to light how it is now. Like, especially Mickie James, again, a pioneer of women's wrestling, had this vision, and now she's making it happen. And you are a part of that vision, for the future of women's wrestling. And as you now kind of move towards the next phase of your career now in the States, there are so many amazing, talented people in the States here. And I know you mentioned Serena Deeb earlier. So is she somebody now that you kind of get adjusted to the Florida and US life? Is she one that you want to kind of have hopes of squaring off with? I think that's on a lot of people's minds, is who is on Bianca Carelli's, kind of checklist of, I want to face this person.
Well, we'll see, because I hope that this isn't like private information, but I'm actually going to be renting from her. So I hope we don't square off in the kitchen or anything. If I leave my dishes on the sink, she might square off with me sooner than
Oh my
sooner than
God,
you
that's
think.
amazing.
Bianca, what's this dish doing on the counter? I'm sorry. Yeah, I've known her since I was very, very little.
Yeah.
So she's amazing. Like, she's, helping me, like, find a place to stay while I start this journey. So I'm really excited. And, I really do look up to her, and, I hope to learn a few things from her. And then once I learn her tricks, haha, maybe we square off and I use them. uh, no, she's absolutely great though. And I'm so, like, um just excited to move in with her. I've always kind of viewed her as a
Mhm.
big sister. So
she's going to be on this card as well. I don't know whether the match has been publicly revealed yet, so I will leave that up to NWA to announce, but it's against an opponent who is honestly another great women's wrestler on the NWA roster. So I'm super excited for that. I think that, along with obviously the women's invitational and all the matches that are yet to be announced, is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And you were even thinking about going to train with Serena, right? Like in New Jersey, I think you told me.
Oh no, that was someone else. That was
Okay.
Damian Adams. He has a school in New Jersey, and he's trained a lot of girls. So I was thinking about going there, but then because my sister's in Florida, and you know, I ultimately want to be in Florida, I was like, okay, you know what? I'll just go straight there. I would like to learn from Serena, train with Serena. Hopefully she doesn't mind me bugging her in the mornings or
hey,
something.
Serena.
Can I just ask you a question?
Yeah,
Like she's me brushing her teeth. I'm like, hey, just one quick question. Oh, whatever. But yeah, it'll be funny because I'll see her down at St. Louis, and then like finally, like 24 hours later, well, she'll probably fly home, and then I'll just be driving, and I'll just be chasing her there, I guess.
Hey, see you there.
Yeah, at home.
That's so funny. Now, before I let you go, Bianca, can you please tell the listeners where they can find you on all your social medias?
Absolutely. My Instagram is at Bianca Sophia, and the end of Bianca and the end of Sophia have additional A's. And I hate explaining that. I really got to change it. And then my Twitter is Carelli Bianca. Just nice and easy.
Nice and easy.
Those are my socials. Like I have TikTok, but I'm not a TikToker. Like actually, I shouldn't have even mentioned it because it's just it's brutal. It's not entertaining. It's really sad actually.
Gotta step up your TikTok game, Bianca.
Yeah, I really do. I can't do those dances.
Oh, I can't either.
Know.
I don't have any content posted on there. I just scroll. I don't have any videos posted. I have some drafts, but I'm like, I'm not good at dances or anything.
Yeah, I have some drafts too that I'll never ever ever post. So I'm glad we're in the same boat with that one. Maybe when we meet, we got to make a TikTok. Who knows?
I mean, I'll be there. I'll be there Thursday the 26th, and I'll be there up until the 31st, which is MJ's birthday. So we'll definitely link up. If not, I know I will for sure see you on the red carpet. So it'll be fun. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Bianca. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I sincerely can't wait to see you so soon at NWA Empowerrr Weekend. It's going to be so fun.
Oh, absolutely. And I can't wait to meet you either. We are just days away, Ella. Days away.
And don't forget to follow myself at It's Ella J on Twitter and Bell to Bells for more exclusive interviews, including Masha Slamovich, which, you know, Bianca, you had some words. So, I mean, we'll have to see what she says back. So, but I am super, super excited to be seeing you. And again, it's so exciting, the move you're having. And I have nothing but high hopes for you. And I can't wait for you to be a part in the main event on your first ever pay-per-view at NWA Empowerrr.
Thank you so much.
And obviously, NWA Empowerrr will be airing on Fight TV at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on August 28th. And I will be there. Bianca will be there in person, and we hope to see you there too. So thank you again, Bianca.
Thank you so much for having me, Ella.